Here we are, GladrapChannel with Mayhem coach, trainer, Terence Reid. How are you, buddy?
Good, thanks, Isaac. How are you, mate?
Happy with the results tonight?
Yeah, I mean, if you consider Smiley's experience level to the guys he's fighting, he's doing amazing. But he's also got a talent, and I believe he can go a lot further. So.
The crazy thing with Smiley is he never has an easy fight. Like every fight that I see him in, it's usually some very, very tough experience, and they go toe to toe. Mike Ango was going crazy in that fight.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because we find it hard to get him fights in New Zealand. I mean, you've got the likes of David Light and stuff for the New Zealand title, but we just want to get him some build-up fights, and then of course we can't get him built. It's hard to get him build-up fights, you know. So we have to fight guys from Australia. Last time we fought the guy from the he won the silver medalist in the Commonwealth Games, you know, on his pro debut, and Smiley went toe to toe with him, you know, and then fought Floyd Masson, who was a great amateur fighter, you know. He's a full-time boxer now, going for the worlds, aiming for the world title, you know, and then Smiley goes toe to toe with him, you know. So he shows he's got the goods, you know. I mean, he's got power, he's got unbelievable power as a cruiserweight, and so it's just about building him up. We want the New Zealand title, you know, and once we've got that, we've got a good 3 fights under him where we feel comfortable, then he can fight whoever's in that division. And
what's in the water at Mayhem Boxing? Because you've got so many champs. You know, you got the Troy Garden, you got Giovanna Perez, you got Holly, obviously Smiley, Falau. Could we mention him as well or no?
He's our body boxing champion. He's he's the New Zealand body boxing champion. He's 3 rounds and 30 seconds. He doesn't do anything over that, but yeah, so he's the New Zealand body boxing champion.
But back to the champions, or the you know, the Troys, the Giovannas. What is it that you know, you do so? How is it that you do so well with these female fighters?
Female fighters? No, they're not all female fighters. But yeah, no, I understand. I don't think there's anything special. It's hard work, and we go over the foundations. Foundations is important in any sport. And if you look at Troy's guard, Troy has a high guard in the amateurs, you know, and we get it to loosen it a little bit. We always keep it hovering quite high. Where if you look at a lot of amateurs, they keep their guard down here because they like to shoot from the hip or through the shoulder, you know. And so, but we like to stay on our foundations, because at the end of the day, strong foundations brings out little mistakes.
And the crazy thing with Troy, she's only been boxing for probably 3 years. To get to you know, the world level she's at is just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, well, she lost to the Irish boxer Harrington, and Harrington, last I saw, she was in the finals, so she was guaranteed a bronze, but I think she might be in the finals now for a gold or silver. Now that's #1 in the world, and Troy had a close loss to her. So if you look at that, if you look at the stats on that, I mean, she's done remarkable, you know, and you know, and she's always been that person that's been very dedicated. She gets her training done. She gets up early. She does her training. She does all her rehab. You know, because she fought in the Commonwealth Games with no ACL tendon, and her opponent, funny enough, had ACL surgery 6 months before, and they were going on about her ACL tendon surgery. Little did they know Troy had no ACL tendon. So yeah, so no, she's done that quite well. So yeah. Always causing mayhem, that guy as well. Now look, and Giovanna Perez, she's ranked #1 WPBA in the world, highest ranked boxer in New Zealand, even higher than the likes of Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I mean, giving it fair, I mean, there's not the competition, obviously, as there is in the guys, you know, and that's something we'll definitely have to point out. I mean, you know, people like, you know, Park has to fight people like Anthony Joshua and all those, you know, but still, you know, it's an amazing accomplishment, you know, and for someone that's 41 now, you know, and she only had a year of amateur in the amateurs because she was too old for the amateurs and stuff. She's done remarkable, you know. Again, another person that's mind is set after what she wants, you know, and she lives her life it. And to be in a sport like boxing, you've got to live your life in the sport. You know, there's no room for laziness. And if you don't respect the sport's not going to respect you.
Every time I do one of your classes, I almost regret it because they're just that tough. So I see what you mean there. Now, is there anything else anyone else we should be watching out for in your gym? And is there any updates of what's happening with Mayhem Boxing for all those watching?
We're going to have quite a few good amateurs coming through next year. So keep an eye on that. Holly has just taken 7 months off. Keep an eye out for Holly. So she beat Tasman at Nationals. Tasman was the girl that won the bronze at the Commonwealth Games. So she's going to be great when she's back on the scene. She's taken 6 months out, or 7 months out or something, and she's one to definitely watch out for. But yeah, March next year. I don't know if we've announced it yet. Maybe I won't. There's some big things happening.
You can't say anything?
I don't know if I can.
Okay.
I hinted it. So, but Giovanna's got a big fight coming up in 2 weeks, and we don't look past the fight. So, and we take, Nalini's a good fighter. She comes from her brother's a good fighter, so comes from a good stock, So we won't look past that fight. So,
well, we appreciate your time today. Always a pleasure catching up, and see you in the next event. Thank you.